Yo, what's up, YouTube? And today we're going to be watching A Day with Florida's Wildest Sheriff. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let's get to the video.
Florida's where snowflakes come to melt, and I hope it stays that way.
Okay.
On Facebook, TikTok, or other social media, the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office has made a routine of putting arrests and suspects front and center. But the videos are becoming heavily scrutinized now by Mackenzie LaPointe, a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida.
When we have those that are going to come into our community and try to victimize them, we're going to chase them to the ends of the earth.
Who's the best at pit maneuvers in this room?
Probably me.
Wait, people are mad because they're aggressive? I mean, that's what's happening.
A lot of these individuals take flight.
Okay. Get them.
So they had enough balls to come here and victimize our citizens. Our deputies are going to put them through the ringer. They're going to end up landing in Pearson's penthouse where they belong.
Florida sheriffs have a notorious reputation for their no-nonsense, tough-on-crime approach, and perhaps no man better exemplifies this than St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson. To some, he's a legend, a man we're in the age where you wonder if the police body cam footage will be released to the public. He takes an unorthodox approach, broadcasting live, using social media to amplify his mission.
No, oh my god. He's the nigga you see on TikTok that doesn't give a fuck.
And encourage transparency. And he's not just some scrub on desk duty. He has spent years in the field, going on raids, doing high-speed chases in the Hellcat, and rocking the shiesty mask before it became popular. But to others, his antics are too much, over the top, and he's been criticized for being controversial.
This man is unethical. He should not even be our dog catcher.
Now by Mackenzie LaPointe, a U.S. attorney for the Southern District of Florida. Through a public record request, I learned LaPointe and Pearson discreetly spoke on the phone in April. LaPointe's concerns the videos hurt law enforcement's credibility. This is the first post LaPointe says he took issue with. Writing, quote, "This disturbing image comes across as if the sheriff is posing with an antelope that he just shot on a safari."
Yeah, he caught a criminal. Don't be mad about it. Most likely it was only because they got mad only because the guy was black. If he was white, no one would have called him out about it. So let's not do that today. No, sir.
Together, we get to dive in and see what this man is all about. Boots on the ground with Florida's wildest sheriff. Let's get to it.
And guys, let me know in the comments, is it a good idea for a sheriff to leverage social media and be more transparent to the people that elected him? Or is it unprofessional to be filming the people you arrest?
Nah, I agree. It's super transparent. They should keep doing it.
This is Nifty Gears, thanks to the sponsor of today's video.
Atomic Defense. And folks, if you have a dangerous job, like law enforcement or security, they have the gear that's gonna help keep you safe.
This is some bad boy shit. This is a level 3 plate carrier, which means average blick on the street. I don't care if you're talking AK-47, AR, pistol, even if I had a switch on it, this thing protects you. And they have gear for everybody, from police officers to civilians. This is some of the best shit in the game.
And if you have operations in the dark, they have some of the best night vision in the game. I mean, look at their clients. They're trusted by sheriffs, school districts, even the Department of Homeland Security. That's the feds. And they made a custom link for you, the viewer, to shop their collection.
Small ass plate carriers.
They got thermal scopes, vests, and holy shit, a bulletproof mask.
Imagine doing a mission wearing one of those.
Your safety is #1 and always worth the investment. Get the gear if this speaks to you.
St. Lucie County.
Hey there, I have a meeting with Sheriff Pearson, just trying to get through the fence. Good morning, how are you?
Hey there, Mary Ann. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Top of the morning to you. Good to meet you, man.
Oh, absolutely.
How are you?
You're all set up.
Yes, this is apparently can stop most things in the street today, from ARs to AK-47s to blickies to even guns with switches, which I'm sure you've encountered out in the wild.
No, we have Glock Amazon switches and
Glock Amazon switches, bro. Niggas buying switchies off Amazon. It's crazy.
Everything coming over from China. In the free state of Florida, you know, we're a Second Amendment state. You can go to a gun shop and buy one.
Really?
You know, so
You can buy switches in Florida?
Yeah, absolutely. You can modify your
The
gun.
ATF doesn't come running?
Well, you have to go through the process. You have to go
Okay.
through the ATF process. I encourage our deputies to go out there and arrest anyone who wants to victimize our criminals. I encourage them to do that. When we have those that are going to come into our community and try to victimize them, whether it's porch pirates, whether it's people looking to smash and grabs, we're going to chase them to the end of the earth.
2013? Well, we just flashbacked real quick.
These individuals have an extensive criminal history, very violent, lots of narcotic sales. They know that they've been doing
He's been doing this since 2013, live casting it or recording it and posting it.
wrong,
That's
breaking the law
crazy.
for quite some time. They just don't know when they're going to get caught again. So just our mere presence, a lot of these individuals take flight.
All units 10-3 in pursuit.
We just came to check a house that we've done multiple sales of cocaine at.
If they get in the vehicle and they decide to run, our deputies not only have the training, they have the policies to back them up to stop them in their tracks.
Do you guys do pit maneuvers?
100%. We're at the brink of
They said you're getting off the road now.
to back them up to stop them in their tracks.
Do you guys
Get
do
off the
pit
road.
maneuvers?
100%.
Get
We're at
out.
the brink of society running rampant.
That's crazy.
What do you see as the biggest challenge in your way for fighting crime right now?
Soft on crime ideology. Those that, you know, want to hand out ice cream cones to felons instead of handcuffs. But we know January 20th, a lot of that's going to change. You know, the handcuffs are going to be coming off the federal law enforcement and going back on the criminals where they belong. Yeah, I'm St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson. Franklin Sanders and his juvenile companion thought they were going to come through St. Lucie County.
I remember
with the
seeing
stolen
this,
vehicle, with the Broward Task Force on their tail. Ain't happening.
Part of me thinks in the prison system we should come up with a better way to determine if someone could be more of an attribute.
Well, hopefully individuals who hadn't crossed that line to victimize our citizens see these videos and they understand that, you know, there's consequences to actions.
Oh, you got some warrants there, Michael.
I got one.
Yeah.
For what?
Sale and delivery cocaine.
For real? Shit, I got 4 sale charges. I got 4 sale charges. Who I sold and delivered to?
You have
Sale charges. Who I sold and delivered to?
Nah.
You have agencies, and mainly in our northern
Caught him in 340p. Still clear face.
states, that have woke ideology. You can't hold the criminal accountable if you can't catch them. So if they know you're going to get behind them and turn the lights on, they're going to flee. Well, what are they going to do? They're criminals. They don't want to be caught. So of course they're going to stop. But if they get behind and they know a deputy's behind them or a Florida trooper's behind them and they put the lights on, they know I've got about 5 seconds to make a decision before they put me in a ditch. So they had enough balls to come here and victimize our citizens. Our deputies are going to put them through the ringer, and we're going to let them. They're going to end up landing in Pearson's penthouse where they belong.
Pearson penthouse. Most police forces around the country have shied away from social media, but you lean into it.
It's what the people want. When you communicate with the public, they want to see transparency.
Yes.
But the media is fake. We all know that. The future is YouTube channels. The
Oh, he's even on the water too? Okay.
future is connecting with the community directly, cutting the middleman out who's going to change it to fit their agenda. What do, you know, the traditional media folks do?
They take your video, your story, they put their own words over it and package it.
There you have it.
The Real plays music with what he called racially insensitive references. In a response, Pearson said,
What?
quote, plays music with what he called racially insensitive references. In a response, Pearson said, quote, that he wholeheartedly disagrees with your statement and that, quote, we will continue to highlight criminals and crimes in an effort to dissuade those thinking about breaking our laws.
And again, the woke ideology, you know, Florida is where snowflakes come to melt, and I hope it stays that way.
You want to give us a tour?
Yeah, we'll give you a tour.
What's the difference between a sheriff and a chief of police?
So the sheriff is constitutionally elected.
Okay.
So we're elected, just how the president is elected. The chief of police works for a city, municipality.
Police chiefs get appointed by city leaders like the mayor or city council, and sheriffs get elected by the people of the county every 4 years. The other big thing is jurisdiction. Police chiefs typically run a town or city, while sheriffs run the entire county.
How many people do you oversee?
So right now we're at about 750. We have deputies in every single school in St. Lucie County to ensure our kids stay safe. So we have 18 years of these kids seeing our deputies every single day in a positive light. They're not only there to make
Damn, 18 years? Wow. Okay.
sure that, you know, our kids engage with law enforcement. They're there to protect our kids. Major Steve Sigmund, he's in charge of law enforcement. And when you ask how does it feel to be the CEO of a $100 million company with you're close to 800 employees, you can't do it without, you know, great leaders like Major Sigmund.
What builds that budget? How do you get the money for that budget?
Citizens, you know, we go through a budgetary hearing every year. The county commissioners approve the budget.
The sheriff's office is largely taxpayer funded?
It's 100% taxpayer
No
funded.
civil forfeiture?
No civil forfeiture.
Okay.
So this is our real-time crime center. So we have our analysts
That's
here
good.
that throughout the day monitor radio channels. If our deputies respond to a bank call, a stolen vehicle, we have the display up here to where we can see what's happening. The ladies inside this room right here is literally the heartbeat of the agency. You know, they're funneling out information. When our deputies are responding to a bank robbery, when our deputies are responding to a missing child, and they're sorting through all the background stuff, because we want our deputies focused on driving, getting there as fast as they can. So this is a portion of our traffic unit. This is Sergeant Evans. He's in charge of the traffic unit.
Who's the best at pit maneuvers in this room?
Probably me, because I'm an instructor on it.
Some of you guys see some really rough things. They see, you know, kid neglect. They see abuse. They see shootings. They see dead people. I mean, they see a lot of really rough things.
Either make contact or entry at the residence that the two suspected homicide suspects are hiding in.
Moments later, a man fitting the description of the suspect exits the home.
White shirt coming out, appears to be
It's the shooting suspect.
Or how do you guys work through that?
We'll have our peer support group reach out to them, and it's an app that we put on their work phone so that they hit the button, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's financial issues, whether it's seeing something terrible, decompressing. We have that availability to them. If they want to step up and they think that they need the help, you know, we have those resources for them and their families.
Okay.
What is your take on civil forfeiture?
Oh, I use it all the time. So this Mustang here was seized. This Mustang.
He does. He does such a good job that the county just lets him keep it and just says seized vehicle.
So this
They even tag it to let them know it's a seized car for the sheriffs.
Mustang here was seized. This Mustang was
he's
seized
doing
from
his
a
big
chop
one.
shop. Mainly it's vehicles. You know, we'll have a drug dealer in a vehicle use a vehicle, you know, while they're committing drug deals, or we'll have these street takeovers. You know, we had a motorcycle, BMW S1000. Was seized from an individual who makes videos on TikTok, taunting the police, doing street takeovers, you know, driving 191 miles an hour, you know, just in and out of traffic, you know, just causing chaos, you know, running from the police. I think his quote was, he's happy that law enforcement agency is putting it into use that has the balls to drive it, or something along those lines.
As we were talking earlier about property theft. That almost seems like legalized property theft, but under the badge doing it.
Well, if the forfeiture comes into when things are used as an instrumentality of a crime.
But doesn't that sound like a little bit of a reach?
No, not at all. I don't think so. A lot of the stories that people hear about is person driving down the road, they had a whole bunch of money on them, they stopped and they said, I think this is drug money.
Yes.
And they would take, those days are gone.
Okay. Do you agree with that?
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
Are you having any trouble recruiting?
No, we've got lines around we're not the highest paid agency either, but I think being able to connect with the community, being able for the younger generation, the newer generation to see that we want them to be cops. As long as our deputies use their judgment and do it for the right reasons, I got their back 100%. But if they mess up and they do the wrong thing, I'm also going to slam them just as hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Folks, just a reminder, if you want to get the Big Dogs Gotta Eat sweatshirts, RIP Mainstream Media t-shirts, TomandJimmyGee.com. What's the most bizarre arrest encounter you've had on the job?
In wait, 2010?
Arrest
Circa 2010. Yep. Okay.
encounter you've had on the job.
People being in a car naked, getting pulled over. I was in narcotics and vice for the longest time, and this is going back about 10 years ago. I go make a drug purchase. I think it was oxycodone at the time. Bought trafficking him out from an individual. He ends up getting arrested. Goes through the process. Gets in trouble. Gets sentenced to prison. Goes to prison for a year or two. Gets out. The day that he gets out, I'm still in my undercover mode. Just different places. We cross paths at a gathering at another event, and he's there selling again. Well, he recognizes me, and he goes, "Hey, you're that motherfucker that put me away." So there's no backup. There's no, if you're really undercover, you're really undercover. So I said, "Hey man, my bad. The cops pulled me over on the way here, and I didn't know you at the time. So I figured if I gave them somebody, they'd let off me, and they did. So my bad. I won't do you like that again." So he was thinking in his head, like, "Oh yeah, I would do the same thing." He's like, "Oh shit, makes sense."
Jesus
he goes,
Christ.
He sold to me again, right there on the spot. And then obviously he's in prison again. But that's
So anybody who's been selling dope is hiding.
Fucking back to back. Damn, he's smart. He's real smart for that one. Not gonna lie.
They know we're coming for them. So we'll be right back out at it tomorrow.
SWAT team? SWAT team? SWAT team?
How are you?
the SWAT week this week.
What are you guys training for in particular now?
The basics of this training is from a source, Cadre Consultants. They're out of Broward. Ultimately, this is going to lead into CQC training.
Close quarter combat.
Yeah.
Now he's in charge of the SWAT team. He makes sure that every one of our deputies are dead accurate shots, as you could see. He makes sure that our training, their training is top tier level. Make sure they have all the equipment they need to succeed the missions. He's directly responsible for every one of the SWAT team members. And again, it's a heavy burden to take on. To know that you're instructing and you're giving the team and the guidance to officers that have to wear ballistic material to go in there and get the people that don't want to be caught.
What's the biggest thing you want to accomplish in the county?
Probably just see some of the crime reduced. Some of the shootings. Fort Pierce is seeing a lot of shootings. Maybe get in there and try to reduce some of the violence.
It's certainly a very high-risk job. What's something you think the average person back home might not know about your profession that you could tell them?
When they see all these guys with all this equipment on, sometimes they have a tendency to forget that there's a human being with a family, with kids, with loved ones that goes out and does this job every day to make other people safe, and just to kind of remember, they're not just machines, they're not robots.
How has it felt in the last 4 years, especially since the George Floyd incident? Policing has been really, people have just shit on it in America. A lot of people have.
We're not having those issues here because, we've always engaged with the community. Our previous Sheriff Ken Mascara, was in office for 23 years. His biggest focus was on community engagement and being personable, being tailorable. My cell number is out there to any one of our residents.
Really?
And I would say the pendulum's starting to go back the other way, where the public wants more cops in their community and wants them to, take action against all this crime.
Treat everybody with respect and show them that just because there's one bad apple in the bunch, the whole bunch isn't ruined.
True.
How often when you guys are doing a raid, let's say you're raiding someone for fentanyl, how often does a shootout actually occur?
Oh, 2010 circa.
He's right there. Come out! Come out now! Come out! Come on! Let's go! Let's go! Move! Move! I don't care! Move!
Shield up.
Coming up, Mikey. Small room.
We'll clear this side of the house.
We surround the house. We make our presence known. We use the presence of marked units and verbal de-escalation. we give the commands, we ask them to come outside. They 9 times out of 10 realize that we're not going anywhere. It is in fact a search warrant. We have a legal reason to be there. And generally they'll come out realizing that, look, there's a show of force. We're going to end up coming in anyway. It's inevitable. So we usually get the intended result with the least use of force possible.
Tonight we're taking part in a multi-agency enhanced traffic enforcement operation. Some of the detectives stopped the vehicle for some traffic violations, and they transmitted that they've recovered a large amount of narcotics.
A large amount of narcotics. God damn it.
We're gonna head that way and see if we could help with anything. There it is. You know, it's inconspicuous.
A brick. No.
It's the shape of a kilo. We hadn't had it cut and open yet to check it, but the dog alerted to it. They said the item was initially concealed underneath it in there. So we're gonna contact our crime scene unit, have them come out, process it. It's a fairly large amount of narcotics from what we're seeing at this point right now. There's one. And there's another kilo of cocaine.
What are the most common things some police departments are doing to drop the ball right now?
But when it comes down to, you know, law enforcement, when it comes down to, you know, fixing problems, you know, it's very simple. Just you got to go right back to the basics. You know, we've been a community, or we've been, you know, people have been on the earth for many years, and we evolve. But you can only evolve so far. You know, evil's evil. You know, people are going to commit crime. You have to just face it straight on and use what you have within your means. You know, budget plays a big role in it. You know, not every agency has the budget to, you know, have the real-time crime center, to have LPR cameras that only assist our deputies with going out there and locking people up.
We're here at the Sheriff Aviation Unit. This madman's gonna take us up in the sky when there's an impending storm. I'm not exactly thrilled about it, but you bought the ticket, you take the ride. So on a risk scale going up.
He's nervous.
I can't determine that until we actually see what's coming.
Until we fly, right? Fly until you can't fly. Okay?
Fly till you can't fly. This nigga.
Probably the 3 of us. That's all right.
His name is Schoner.
Sergeant Schoner. Yep.
He doesn't seem very excited right now, and he's.
Well, they're real serious, you know, because they take
real
their,
serious.
Yeah.
Is smiling a crime in this jurisdiction?
No.
This is one way to spin the block, don't you think?
Oh yeah, definitely bend the block with this one, right?
You slid, Jet. You slid, Jet.
Who? I slid?
You slid, Jet.
You slid, Jet.
Spot a child predator as we're flying, are we allowed to just shoot out of their window and try and get them?
No, can't do that.
Is that where we deploy the dogs and the tactical team?
I would radio down, but I don't think we're going to be able to see any predators from the sky.
Is it on your dream list to arrest P. Diddy?
No.
So is this going to be a no-joke flight?
Yeah. Well, because you got to remember, we're going to be flying, you know, in the air. You know, there are a lot of instruments. You know, it's a, you know, this is probably one of our most. Look how clean the floor is. You know, very, very dangerous and serious flight.
Helicopters are a very important tool in crime fighting and public safety. For safety, a bird in the sky can help locate someone in the ocean that has had a boating accident, and for crime, it can help with things like smugglers using boats and high-speed car chases. Any car thief with enough experience will tell you that a helicopter adds another dimension of difficulty to getting away from the authorities.
Okay. Some of the little sprinkles.
But that was actually pretty damn smooth. I enjoyed that. I'm glad we did it.
No, absolutely. How are we doing in booking? Do we have any movements or is it busy or? I'm pulling up to the Sally Port. If you want to let us in, we're going to come into the Sally Port. If you just want to meet us out there. We've got upwards of 40 deputies on shift out here.
Oh.
It's one of the largest moving pieces, you know, because we're entrusted to keep you know, our community safe. What's happening, buddy? Good, good, good. This is our intake area. When they get brought in, you know, they get placed up here, they get searched, they make sure they have nothing in here.
Come on in here. This is where we do what we call the pat-down area, or to make sure no one has any weapons or drugs or anything like that before entering the secure area of the facility. All their property is taken from them at this point. Your misdemeanor and light felons in male will get blue uniform. You can see the orange over on the other side if they are a violent inmate or they have a violent past.
They have a database that we do that we get a thumbprint from them, and it kind of puts a light, not an AFIS, but not a 100% fingerprint match, but it's our own little database because our deputies do have fingerprint readers on the street. So in the event that a deputy encounters somebody,
What? We need more of that on the street. Fingerprint readers? Then you could definitely get former criminals, bro.
and they don't
We need those back
have
on the
a
street.
ID or they don't want to be cooperative, we're able to use a
Yeah.
small finger device to get a fingerprint. If they've ever been arrested before, it'll give us a close match to them. So at least give us a roll. Now, this is our holding. Usually we'll keep people separate. You know, if we have males and females, we'll keep females in one, males in another. So when they come into here, this is an X-ray machine that they're able to do a body scan on to see if there's anything on them, you know, anything hidden in their cavities.
Check them in the rectum, they say?
Well, I'm not sure if that's the terminology they use, but this would be the device that does the body scan, and it would be able to determine if there's, you know, something there hidden. So, you know, sometimes when people come into the facility, they you know, they're well, not necessarily drunk, but just out of control or violent or wanting to fight or lash
It
out.
would suck to have to get strapped onto this.
It does. No, I think it would as well. But again, it's designed, you know, to prevent somebody from hurting themselves, whether they're here, they're banging their head on the wall. But once they're in this, they're put on camera, they're on constant surveillance.
Who makes money from the bonds? The bond company?
Yeah, I think it would be the bond company.
But you don't see any of that?
No, I wish. You know, it would definitely help. But we don't get no money from tickets, despite what people think. We don't get any money from bondsmen, you know, when they process it. Like, so this is our processing area. This is Sergeant Lamb.
How you doing? I'm Tom.
This is where they would take their photos, they'd fingerprint them, they'd, you know, put a band, you know, wristband on them. And then when they're going to call their bondsman or make a phone call, here's the holding cell. You know, you have the phone call. So this is where they'd call home. You know, they've got a list of different bondsmen. They'd make their free call from here.
So 10 dudes could be in here and they all share one toilet?
20 or 30 dudes in here.
And they all share one toilet?
Yeah.
You have to just, hey guys.
Sorry. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
And then-
amazing that jail or prison isn't more of a deterrent. I can't imagine spending more than an hour here and being like, okay, I'm never doing anything again that'll get me here.
Well, if somebody out there is homeless and they don't have the means to have their house or food or whatever or warmth, when are they going to come here? They're going to come here during the winter times.
Of course, so I totally get it for a homeless person. This is a great option if you're homeless. But for the other guys, what do you think makes someone a habitual offender? Like, why do you think this isn't bad enough to not want to repeat?
Really not much more than we can attribute it to that. It's just how they're raised. We do have programs here to hopefully get them out of that. But some of them are just going to keep coming back and forth.
True. Did that blow your mind a little bit, though?
It did when I first started. Been here almost 18 years. I'm kind of moved to it at this point, so it doesn't really affect me anymore.
You know, on the flip note, look how clean this place is. I mean, who wouldn't want to come to Pearson's penthouse? It's pretty clean.
I want to come here.
You know, oh, come on.
Thank you.
I think they had 4 bag lunches for us. This is our lunch. We haven't been busy.
Thank you.
Bag lunch with the guy.
So this is a typical jail meal.
When they go out, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, 2 sandwiches. Oh.
Turkey.
This actually doesn't look so bad.
No, it doesn't.
You have a close-up. I don't know what kind of,
Oh, you got a nice thick slice. Look at that. You got a thick old slice.
look at the pattern of the meat.
All right, one bite. Everyone knows the rule. What do you grade that turkey sandwich?
1, they actually have a real thick piece of turkey. If this was an airport, it'd be like, you know, a fraction of this. I'd say as far as jail food goes, this is pretty good.
Good. I'm glad that our culinary department is up to par.
I can already tell how it tastes.
Oh, how does it taste? Tell us.
Bread and turkey.
Like a sandwich that you just had some cold cuts that Boris had, right?
I feel like it's really good bread. Like
The bread
I
makes
thought
the
the bread was
sandwich.
gonna be more tough or like more kind of stale.
I thought the bread was gonna be more stale. More stale. Nah.
While it's important for Keith to be tough on crime, he is also passionate about building opportunities for the community. Here's a gym that his father started in his time as an officer, and Keith has kept going while he's worn the badge.
This is our
Interesting.
way that we give kids in the community to have a place to come to. This is 100% volunteer base, so everyone that comes in here.
So this is provided by the department?
The sheriff's office sponsors it, but it's totally funded from the community. The building's owned outright by the nonprofit. It's a police athletic league, and we were talking a little bit earlier about giving kids options and opportunity. This is a vessel to do that. So 1994, we saw that a lot of kids in our community didn't have the parents, didn't have the mentorship, didn't have the guidance. So we brought a police athletic league here to our community to give kids the key word, opportunity. We've sent kids to the kids from our community. We've sent to the Olympics with the traits and characteristics that they build. So we're taking action. We're putting programs in place. It's free to the kids.
Yeah, they're really doing it out there. Okay. More places should do shit like that. Shit.
There.
So what you're starting to hit on that I think is really important is the community policing aspect.
You have to be a part of your community to effectively police your community. If you're just running off of policies and not changing with the community, not engaging with the community, then that's all you're going to be. The community's not going to have trust in you because you're only going to be there when there's problems. We focus on combat sports because if you do team sports, think of this for a second. There's football practice. Your parents just got into a fight or someone just got arrested or there's an alcohol substance abuse and you missed practice. Now you're letting the team down. When you come back, what happens? You get benched. You get benched for no other reason that you missed practice for things out of your control. So doing combat sports, boxing, wrestling, karate, it's you against you. So if they come and they miss a week, when they come back, they could pick up right where they left off.
And the self-confidence to be able to defend yourself.
You're pissed off at the world, you come in here, 9 out of 10 times these kids never even make it to the ring. But they'll go back to one of those punching bags there and they'll let go of that frustration.
Yeah. I'm trying to expand and do other.
How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, how hard is it to recruit your friends to come train here?
My friends not really so hard. It depends. It depends if you know somebody that's motivated or very dedicated. If you surround yourself with people that are driven, it's not really so hard.
The organization's been here since 1994. So there's generations of people who've come here for just that opportunity to come out and go to different events. And we're not a typical gym. When you go away on an event, what does it cost you? We pay for the transport, we pay for the houses, the hotels. We set them up there. We've got great mentors that are here. Nobody here gets paid. This is 100% volunteer based. It's for the community, by the community.
2025, what's on your list to knock out of the park?
Well, we just want to secure our borders. We're 60 miles away from the Bahamas. And what happens is, when the border in Texas tightens up, we have vessels that come over. So we have those that want to enter our country illegally. And when they come over illegally, this isn't humanitarian. This isn't families. Most of them have criminal backgrounds, and they're bringing kilos of fentanyl, kilos of cocaine, weapons, things to harm our citizens.
Most of the people you encounter crossing the border have criminal backgrounds.
Yes, sir. You know what? I'm reflecting back on that question that you asked me earlier. Well, what's the goals for 2025? America first. We're going to put America first. We're going to put our American citizens first. We're going to put our border first. We're going to put the lives affected by the poison fentanyl coming into our communities first.
Folks, this was an inside look into the wildest sheriff in Florida. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I'll see you next week. Peace. And guys, one final reminder.
No, that was a good ass video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.